The Great Gilly Hopkins, Chapter 14. She'll be riding 6 white horses when she comes. This is a series of letters back and forth. Post Office Box 33, Jackson, Virginia, December 5th. Dear William Ernest. Ha! I bet you thought I forgot. But don't worry, I wouldn't forget you. I've just been so busy looking after the horses. I've hardly had a minute to myself. I practically fall into bed. I'm so worn out from all the work. Have you ever shoveled horse manure? Just kidding. Actually, it is a lot of fun. We are getting 6 of the horses ready to race at the Charlestown track soon, so I have to help them train. I am sure one of them, named Clouds of Glory, is going to win. The prize is about $500,000, so we will be even richer when he does. Not that we need the money, being millionaires and all. How's school? I bet you zonked Miss McNair with all those new words you learned last month. You should keep in practice by reading out loud to Mr. Randolph. Tell Trotter we have 3 maids and a cook. But the cook isn't half as good as she is, even though she uses lots of fancy ingredients. Ha! Bet you knock Miss McNair over when you read her that word. Right soon, Gilly. P.S. My grandmother told me to call her Nonny. Aren't rich people weird? Side note, they're not rich. Another letter. Thompson Park Elementary School, Thompson Park, Maryland, December 7th. Dear Gilly, if anyone had told me how much I would miss having you in my class, I'd never have believed it. I hope, however, that you are enjoying your new school and that the people there are enjoying you as well. You might like to know that when I send your records to Virginia, I do not plan to include any samples of your poetry. Side note, remember the card she made? You will be receiving soon some paperbacks that I'd been meaning to lend you. But now that you've left us, I want you to keep them as a souvenir of our days together in Harris 6. I certainly won't forget you, even if you never write, but it would be good to hear from you and how you're getting along. Best wishes, Barbara Harris. December 10th. Dear Gilly, how are you? I am fine. I liked your letter. I like your horses. Write me soon. Love, William Ernest Teague. P.S. Did you win the race? Post Office Box 33, Jackson, Virginia, December 15th. Dear Miss Harris, the books by J.R.R. Tolkien came the day after your letter. Now I know who Galadriel was. Do you think Frodo should keep trying to take back the magic ring? I think it'd be better if he kept it and took charge of things himself. Do you know what I mean? Anyhow, thank you for the books. They are really exciting. They help a lot because this school is terrible. Nobody knows anything, including the teachers. I wish I was back in Harris 6, your former student, Gilly Hopkins. P.S. It's okay if you want to call me Galadriel. December 16th. Dear William Ernest, of course we won the race. Now we are training for the Kentucky Derby. I guess I'll have to miss a lot of school to go to that, but it won't matter. They have already told me that I'll probably skip to the 9th grade because I'm so far ahead of all the other 6th graders in this dumb school. When you're old enough, I will take you to a horse race. How about that? Tell Trotter and Mr. Randolph hello for me. Are you reading to Mr. Randolph like I told you to? Take care, Gilly. P.S. Why don't you ask Santa to bring you some karate lessons? December 17th. Dear William Ernest, Trotter, and Mr. Randolph. I just wrote William Ernest yesterday, but now I got some real news. I just heard that my mother is coming on December 23rd. I know I lie a lot, so you won't believe this, but it's really the truth this time. She is really coming. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Galadriel Gilly Hopkins. Her mother really was coming. At least Nonny, who had talked to her on the telephone while Gilly was at school, believed she was. She was due at Dulles Airport at 11 a.m. on December 23rd. A whole week to wait. Gilly thought she might die waiting. She dulled the agony somewhat by plunging into house cleaning for Nonny. Nani was all right. She could still chat a Gilly straight into a pounding headache, but she meant well. And then whenever Gilly would lose patience with her, she would remember that first day Nani had taken her into Jackson Elementary School. They had marched into the principal's office, and Nani had said, "Margaret, this is my granddaughter, Galadriel Hopkins." The principal had raised her eyebrows. She had obviously known Nani for years, and this was the first mention she ever had of a granddaughter. "Your granddaughter?" she said, giving Gilly's new blouse and jumper the once over. "Hopkins, did you say?" You had to hand it to old Nani. She didn't blink an eye. "Yes, I said Hopkins. She's Courtney's child." "I see," said the principal, and you could practically see the wheels spinning in that prissy head of hers. "I see, Hopkins is, how do you spell her Christian name?" Had she exaggerated Christian ever so slightly? If so, Nani never took notice. Nani spelled out Galadriel, Galadriel. She spelt it out as patiently as Gilly might have spelled out a word for W-E. "Her school records will be sent directly to you. She's been in school in Maryland, you know." "Maryland?" The same tone of voice used earlier for Hopkins. It was a scene that was to repeat itself with variations many times in those first couple of weeks. "Hopkins?" they always asked. "Galadriel, how do you spell that?" "Maryland, you said?" Gilly had plenty of practice staring down sneers, but it was hard to imagine that someone like Nani had practice doing this. But Nani looked straight down her short nose at every sneer, and they stopped. At least the ones that did it to her face did. Oh, Nani was gutsier than she looked. But everything would be all right for them both now because Courtney was coming. "It's silly, isn't it, to be nervous?" Nani said. "She's my own daughter. It's just that it's been so long and she was hardly speaking to her father and me in those days. What will we say to each other?" "Nani, if I knew what mothers and daughters said to each other, wouldn't I tell you? How should I know?" "She's going to think I've gotten terribly old. My hair was quite dark when she left." "Yeah?" She tried to put Courtney's hair on Nani's head, but it just didn't work. "Would you think it was silly of me to go and get a rinse? Some color?" "A rinse?" "You know, just to cover up some of the gray." Who thought Nani was a Clairol girl? "Why not?" "Let's do it," Nani said. So while Nani was rinsed and curled, Gilly had her hair cut and blown. "You look lovely, my dear." Nani looked totally unnatural, but then Gilly had never seen her with black hair before. Maybe she looked great to Courtney. "You look nice too," she lied. Money, though it wasn't as scarce as Trotter's, it was hardly in the supply that was hinted in the letters to W.E., but nevertheless Nani seemed determined to prepare royally for Courtney's return. They bought a Christmas tree that would touch the high ceiling of the living room, and they had to hire a neighbor's boy to carry them from the back of the old station wagon into the house and then help them set it up. Every ornament they had hung had a family history, and Gilly half listened as Nani recounted each tale. She was too excited to concentrate fully, but she did grasp that the lopsided pasteboard star was one that her son Chadwell had made when he was in 3rd grade. Most of the glued-on glitter had long departed. There was a yarn snowman that Courtney had made when she was a brownie. It was gray now and beginning to unravel, and there were yards of tattered paper chains. You sure you want to put these paper chains on?" "Oh, we have to have the chains. We always had the chains." So Gilly glued the chains together as best she could, and she hung them. The whole effect was just appalling. It looked like a pile of junk. But then she put on 3 boxes of tinsel, and one strand at a time, so the entire tree was under a silver veil. In a dark room with only the Christmas tree lighted, it wasn't bad. Not a department store display, but it wasn't bad. Nani slipped her glasses on and off her nose, trying to take in the sight. And finally, she let them hang on the ribbon. She let them hang on the ribbon around her neck while she clapped her hands like a little girl. Oh, I can't remember ever before having such a lovely tree. Neither, after she thought about it, neither could Gilly. December 20th. Dear Gilly, so your mama coming to see you, huh? You must be real excited. Mr. Randolph, William Ernest, and me, we wishes you lots of luck. And by the way, William Ernest come home yesterday with a bloody nose. And you know me, I like to die. But he was prouder than a punch-drunk pickle. Mr. Evans called me up to complain about my kid fighting at school. But he took to laughing too hard to finish. What you think about that? Sincerely, your friend, Mamie M. Trotter. Pow! That's what she thought about that. Chapter 15. The final chapter. Homecoming. The plane was late. It seemed to Gilly that everything in this world that you can't stand to wait 1 extra minute for is always late. Her stomach was pretzeled with eagerness and anxiety. She stood sweating in the chill of the huge waiting room, the perspiration pouring down the sleeves of her new blouse. She'd probably ruin it and then stink besides. And then suddenly, when she'd almost stopped straining her eyes with looking at it, the door opened and people began to come off the motor lounge into the airport. All kinds of people, all sizes, all colors, all of them seemed to be in a rush. Many looking about for family and friends, finding them little cries of joy and hugs. Tired, fussy babies, children dragging on their mothers, businessmen, heads down, swinging neat leather briefcases, grandparents laden with shopping bags of Christmas presents. But no Courtney. The pretzel in her stomach turned to stone. It was all a lie. She would never come. And the door blurred and Gilly wanted to leave. She didn't want to cry in that stupid airport, but just at that moment she heard Nani say in a quavering voice, "Courtney!" "Yeah, hello, Nani." This wasn't the person. This person wasn't Courtney. It couldn't be Courtney. Courtney was tall and skinny and gorgeous. The woman who was standing before them was no taller than Nani. She was plump. Although she was wearing a long cape, it was hard to make out her real shape. Her hair was long, but it was dull and stringy. Her hair would look like a darker version of Agnes Stokes's, which had always needed washing. This was a flower child gone to seed. Oh, but Gilly immediately pushed away that disloyal thought. This was her mother. Nani had sort of put her hand on the younger woman's arm in a timid embrace. But there was a huge embroidered shoulder bag between the two of them. This is Galadriel, Courtney. For a second, the smile, the one engraved on Gilly's soul, flashed out of her. Courtney's teeth were perfect. She was face to face with Courtney Rutherford Hopkins. She could no longer doubt it. "Hi." The word almost didn't come out. She wondered what she was supposed to say. Should she try to kiss Courtney, her mother, or something? And at this point, Courtney hugged her, pressing the huge bag into Gilly's chest and stomach and saying across her shoulders to Nani, "She's as tall as I am." She was sounding a little as though Gilly weren't even there. "Courtney, she's a lovely girl." "Well, of course she is." Courtney stepped back and smiled her gorgeous, heart-shattering smile. She's mine, isn't she? Nani smiled back rather more weakly than her daughter. Maybe we should get your luggage. Oh, I got it, said Courtney, slapping her shoulder back. I got everything right in here. Nani looked a little as though she'd been smacked in the face. But, she began and stopped. Yeah, how many clothes can I wear in 2 days, you know? 2 days? Then Courtney had come to get her and take her back after all. Yeah, I told you on the phone, Nani, that I'd come for Christmas and see for myself how the kid was doing. But, Courtney, when I sent you that money... Courtney's face was hard and set with lines between the brows. Look, I come here, didn't I? Don't stop pushing me around before I'm hardly off the plane. My God, I've been gone 13 years and you still think you can tell me what to do. She slung the bag behind her back. Let's get out of here. Nani shot Gilly a look of pain. Courtney... She hadn't come because she wanted to. She'd come because Nani had paid her to. And she wasn't going to stay. And she wasn't going to take Gilly back with her. Psst, those words on the back of the picture, I will always love you. Lie! It was all a lie. Gilly had thrown away her whole life for a stinking lie. I gotta go to the bathroom, Gilly said to Nani. She prayed they wouldn't follow her there because the first thing she was going to do was vomit, and the second thing she was going to do was run away. She tried to vomit, but nothing happened. She was still shaking from the effort when she dropped her coins in the pay telephone beside the bathroom, and she dialed, and it rang 4 times. Bling, 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 bling. Hello? Charter, it's me, Gilly. Oh, God, don't let me break down like a baby, please. Gilly, honey, where are you? Nowhere, it doesn't matter. I'm coming home, Charter. She could hear Charter's heavy breathing at the other end of the line. What's the matter, baby? Your mama didn't show? No, she came. Oh, my poor baby. Gilly was crying now, and she couldn't help herself. Charter, it's all wrong. Nothing turned out the way that it was supposed to. How you mean supposed to, Gilly? Life ain't supposed to be nothing except maybe tough. But I always thought that when my mother came... Oh, sweet baby, ain't no one ever told you yet about her. I reckon I thought you had all that figured out. What? Honey, all that stuff about happy ending, it's all lies. The only ending in this world is death. Now, that might or might not be happy, but either way, you ain't ready to die, are you? Charter, I'm not talking about dying. I'm talking about coming home. But Charter seemed to ignore her. Well, sometimes in this world, things come easy, and you tend to lean back and say, well, finally, my happy ending. This is the way things supposed to be, like life owed you good things. Charter! And there's going to be a lot of good things, baby, like you coming to be with us here this fall. That was good. It was a mighty good thing for me and William Erminus, you coming. But you just gonna fool yourself if you expect good things all the time. They ain't what's regular. Don't nobody owe 'em to you, Gilly. If life is so bad, then how come you're so happy? Oh, did I say bad? No, I meant it's tough. Nothing to make you happy like doing a good job. Doing good on a tough job. Now, is there? Trying to stop preaching to me. I want to come home. You are home, baby. Your grandma is home. No, I want to be with you and William Ernest and Mr. Randolph. And leave that lady all alone? Now, Gilly, could you do that? Oh, damn it, Charter. Don't try to make a Christian out of me. Oh, I'd never try to make nothing out of you, Gilly. There was a quiet at the other end of the line. Me and William Ernest and Mr. Randolph, we kind of like you the way you are. Go to hell, Trotter! Well, I don't know about that, Gilly. I'd planned on settling permanently somewhere else. Trotter! She couldn't push the word hard enough to keep the squeak out. I love you. I know you do, baby. I love you too. She put the phone gently on the hook and went back into the bathroom. She blew her nose on toilet tissue, washed her face, and by the time she got back to an impatient Courtney and a stricken Nonny, she had herself well under control. Sorry to make you wait, Gilly said. I'm ready to go home now. No clouds of glory, perhaps, but Trotter would be proud of her. The end.